On this episode of the Junior Wakefield Show, I get to talk with my son Zachary and give you an update on his battle with cancer. I believe everyone has greatness in them. As a personal trainer, it's my goal to get people to push themselves and to see the greatness in them that I see. And some people have stories so great, so incredible, I felt the need to share them with the world. Join me as I sit down and talk with some of the people who define greatness in our generation. This is the Junior Wakefield Show. Welcome to the Junior Wakefield Show. I'm Junior Wakefield. On September 22nd, 1997, my life changed. Well, our lives changed. We had a baby boy. And his name was Zachary Tanyan Lee Wakefield. Boy, that's a long dadgum name. But Zachary was a biblical part of it. Tanyan was a baseball picture that Tracy and I went to a doubleheader to watch, and the pitcher was throwing a no-hitter until he got to the ninth inning with 2 outs, and then he gave up a hit. And I thought Tanyan was cool. Lee was my mother's middle name, and so I wanted to incorporate that. And then, of course, Wakefield. Well, that's a great thing right there, is Wakefield. Zachary and I, we've had our ups and downs, and we've gone through our battles, and that boy has just made me proud. I started off when he was a baby. I bought him a pair of Jordans, not thinking that he was only going to wear them 2 times. So that was $100 that was wasted. But everything that he did, he excelled at. If it came to education, when it came to sports, when it came to life, he was incredible. And my whole goal in life was to make him a better man than what I was, to make him a stronger man than who I am, to make him just absolutely an incredible man. He did that. We've had our obstacles and we've had our journey up and down. I remember watching him play football, and this was in high school. And my voice, of course, carries if everybody knows me. He made an incredible play on the defensive line, and I yelled at him, and I was like, "That's it, Zachary, go, Zachary, go." And he yelled back, "Dad, they can't hold me. They can't hold me." That point right there showed me that my son is a fighter. That showed me that no matter what obstacle that's in front of him, he's going to overcome. So now, my guest on the Junior Wakefield Show is not my guest, it's my son. It's my role model. It's my fighter. And it's a young man that I love to death. I want everyone to welcome my son, Zachary Wakefield.
What's going on, y'all? Glad to be here.
Good. How you doing?
Good. A little hungry. How you doing?
That's on the next show. Good. Good. Now, you remember that story I was telling you about?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who we were playing.
You were playing Shepton.
That's right.
It was Clark and Shepton.
Yeah.
And you were on the field, and you went through, and I was like, "That's what I'm talking about, Zachary. That's what I'm talking about." And he was like, "Dad, they can't hold me." And then instead of being double teamed, they put a third guy on you, and they still couldn't. You came back, and you were smiling, and I was laughing, and I was like, "Yep, that's my boy. That's it."
Game.
That was awesome. And then remember, we went and watched you at Missouri State, and the first college football game. And when I saw you out there, there was tears in my eyes because I was like, "Oh my God, my son's a freshman and he's out there playing college football." And me and your mother were going crazy. We were yelling, we were jumping up and down, and it was amazing. And I remember after the game when I was turning around to grab stuff and looking, your mom's cutting across the field to you, and I was like, "This is gonna be fun." And there's so many exciting, stories that we have. And that you have, with all the boys, with, shout out to Katie, Byron, Zay, Terrence, Obale.
Shout out to Pac, man.
Okay, man. See, there you go. All the boys that always come to the house and or actually live with us, because I should have been invested in Costco.
Honestly.
But and of course Brevin, Brevin and Landry and Tracy, and it was those were some fun times. But the toughest part as me and you and I we talked about it was when I didn't understand when you left college. I didn't understand the pain that you were going through. I didn't understand all that, and as a father, I was like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. And how were you feeling that particular time? When you made that decision that hey, I'm gonna leave college, something's not right, something's not going on. Because I had my perception, and my perception, I'll admit, was wrong. Boy, was I wrong. And it took a hard time to overcome it. But how were you feeling during that time?
I really didn't feel anything. I think that's what the issue was. Like, I was just like so just over it, and it wasn't quite how I expected it, and I was like, this is all it has to offer. I don't really want to keep going on with this. Obviously I wasn't happy, but it was just it was a trying time, not only for me but for us, for everybody. It was a big decision that was made. I think I really can't say I really didn't feel anything, and I think that's what the problem was. I was just kind of detached, and, like, disconnected, and
tough time.
Yeah, just a tough time. Man.
Well, I know when you got home, you and I we went back and forth, and I didn't understand why you left. I didn't understand the pain you were going through. I didn't understand a lot of it, and boy, we talked about this. I was hard. I was it was tough because the progress that I wanted you to make, or what I thought was best for you, wasn't what you wanted, and going back, it wasn't my decision to make decisions for your life. And when and then you were going through the pain, and I didn't understand the pain, and I didn't understand what was going on, and you were aching, and none of us understood. I remember Landry didn't understand, you didn't understand, your mom didn't understand, Brevin, and we kept going through. It was like, what is this pain? What's wrong with your back? Are you stretching? Are you being lazy, and so forth? And there was hundreds of questions, and I really have to give a shout out to your chiropractor, Dr. Joe, because Dr. Joe was like, there's something wrong. There was more. And I think that the frustration of just the events kind of clouded my mind. And as I said, you and I went back and forth. But that day when I got the phone call, that was that was one of the worst days of my life, because not just hearing it, that you were diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, but I thought about every decision I had ever made in regards to you, every conversation that we had, every frustration that you and I battled back. I felt like worse than mosquito spit. And, it was, that was a tough time. That was a tough time. And, boy, I didn't know. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what to do. I was scared out of my head. I've never stopped loving you as my son. I didn't understand, and I felt like crap.
I think we all did.
How did you feel when you got the news?
I was actually quite relieved, because at least now I knew like what was wrong, and with knowing like what was causing it, we could have a plan of action to at least help or get rid of it. And so I was actually kind of relieved when I found out. I do remember just being like in the hospital all day. I remember when we found out, it was like 11 o'clock. It was April 11th at like 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to the hospital. We was there the whole day getting tested and everything.
Wait, but watch this. So, but on that day, when we found out, we just didn't go straight to the hospital. You had to go home and take a shower. Because you went home, take a shower, and change clothes.
Yeah, and man, I was dirty. Take a shower. That stank.
So, but we did that. But then we went to the hospital, and then we sat there, and it was in disbelief. And I think, Andrew, did we pop? I think we gave Andrew, our producer, some pictures to put up. That was the day. That was the day. You remember
Look at
that?
that hair, man.
Yeah, look at that hair. That was the day. That was the day, and we couldn't believe it. And that day right there, look how skinny you were.
It's like 170.
Yep, and you remember, I mean, it was constant over and over. You know, now the battle has been going on. We're been battling for a long time. Okay.
A little over a year.
How do you feel?
Good, better than before.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is the best I felt in a while, to be honest.
Okay. So before we get to the update, let's go back to the struggles and so forth that we had from the time that we saw it, because during that time there was a lot of people that were just shocked as we started getting the news out, and you know, family member, everybody was just like, what in the world? And you know, we didn't know what to do. We had to follow the doctors and different things like that. Yeah. And you know, we were at Plano Medical Center, and you know, it was a constant thing of going in and going out, and then just trying to figure out what's what. And then you know, we got it was a thing that you were going in almost every week, and then sometimes you were spending weeks and months.
It was like one of my regiments. I was in there for 15 days. Well, it was originally 18 days, because I would get like 10 days of chemo, and then the last 5 days were like shots. But I was able to talk them down, so I was only there for really like 15 days. But yeah, I was there for pretty much 2 weeks, and I was out for about 7 days, and I had to go back.
Go back and so forth. So in my calculation, you'd spent over almost a full year in the hospital with so many different chemo treatments. Now, for everybody out there that's paying attention and so forth, what's the update with the cancer?
Still going, obviously. Luckily, it's just isolated now to my neck and a little bit of my chest. It started off in my back and in my groin, which is what caused all the severe pain that I was dealing with. Yeah, I'm doing less chemo now. I'm exploring more options, trying to find, do everything I can, really.
Other remedies.
There's more than one avenue to fix this. So I've been vegan. I've been just doing everything I can to try to overcome this, because the hospital was great. Plano Medical City, Plano, was by far the best hospital experience I've had. Shout out to everybody on the oncology floor that helped take care of me.
Okay.
But honestly, looking back, after my first stem cell procedure and then seeing how that didn't really change much, and I was like, let me explore my other options, because this might not be the one to do it. But
yeah, so some of the things that you did, going back into Plano, I mean, it was a regiment. It was like you're moving it. You know, when the valet knows your name, and when the porters at the hospital, hey, Mr. Wakefield, I'm like, hey, and the nurses, like, hey, Zachary, hello, Mr. Wakefield, and then it got to the point where next thing you know, instead of bringing you food, we're bringing them food too. So it was trying to make the stay comfortable. But as we talked about cancer, you know, as when your mom and I first learned about it, you know, Tracy started reading books and studying, and I was reading everything, and medicine and medical terms are like Chinese to me, because I can't speak Chinese, and it was like, oh my goodness, and we're like trying all this other stuff. So we had a lot of times where we depended on the doctors to be able to help us and to educate us and to share with us certain things, so to help us kind of understand the path that we're going. And we still don't know. But the thing that's tough is every time we got a report back of you know, the PET scan of Well, the cancer's still there. Well, the cancer's not here, but it moved here. Well, the cancer's not there, but it's coming up here. And the cancer was aggressive, and in your chest and in your neck, and but you said you felt it on some occasions. You felt it. You recognized that, hey, I think it's in my neck. I don't think it's gone, and stuff like that. How does that make you feel to so many different things, so many different chemo treatments, so many different days in the hospital, and we still haven't made any progress?
Yeah, and that's what's made me like reconsider the whole hospital route. And I mean, there's nothing entirely wrong with it. It's definitely helped a lot of people, but just like for me personally, I don't think that it will, considering it hasn't so far. But yeah, especially over the last couple months, it's just really made me like reconsider and just explore more options, because there's tons of other ways to overcome this, and there's other people who have ventured those other routes and have beaten it and overcome it. And so at this point, it's like no harm, no foul. I've already went through chemo, and that's awful as it is. So at this point,
and of course, in our studies and background studies of chemotherapy, that's putting a poison, a toxin inside your body. Now, I didn't put that picture up there, but it showed that the chemo burns that you have all throughout your body, that's from the inside, not from the outside, from the inside. And I think we were in Dallas, where that the chemo was leaking. And remember, they come rushing in and trying to clean it up, and you had to take your shirt off, and you guys saw the picture where he was 170 pounds, but and you still have some of the scars and so forth, the chemo burns that you have on your body. And I remember, when I was looking at it, and I would start crying, and I would wait, or sometimes that I would leave the hospital, I would wait before I could walk down the stairs, because I'd be bawling, and it was just like, dadgummit, and I've told you on many occasions, I would take your place in a minute, as being your father. But how did you feel? There had to be a time to where you said, you know what, forget this. I got to do something, because we waited for the doctors, and we waited for, the results and so forth. But then you all of a sudden said, you know what, it's time for me to step up to the plate and then get on the offensive. So what made you do that?
Asking you to work out, because I know you had your boot camps and stuff, and I remember it was right after I got out the hospital from my stem cell procedure, and I wasn't feeling like good enough yet. I was still like on watch, but I remember like, because sitting in there, because this happened during the lockdown too, so I was literally stuck on that floor, like I couldn't leave nothing.
By yourself. By yourself. And I remember when we had to drop you off by yourself and watch you walk in the hospital, and that I was so mad, and I was like, dadgummit, he shouldn't be fighting this by himself. And because of COVID, you had to. But one of the best days throughout this process that I look at is when you said, Dad, can I start working out? And I was like, well, yeah. I listen, I don't know anything about medicine. I know muscles, and I know different things like that, but I don't know. I'm like, well, shoot, we waited for everybody else to tell us what to do. Let's do it on our own. But when you started working out, I remember it. You remember when you got mad, and I think you were about to cry, because you said, I used to do this with ease, and now it's tough, and now it's frustrating. And I'm like, don't you worry about it. We got this. And the one thing that I said is, keep going. You got it. Keep going. Trust me when you get there. And there are people that came to support you. There were people in the workout group that says, no, we got you. And there were people that said, nope. And I got to give a shout out to Debbie, because Debbie cries about everything. And Debbie was like, oh my God, that's my baby. And I'm like, girl, hush. But he kept going, and you kept pushing it. And then everybody else comes and sees how you're doing, and they kept pushing it, which was awesome. So, Adrian, we have a couple more pictures that I wanted to put up here. And I want you to talk about them, Zach, when you see the pictures. Where was this at? That's when you didn't have your hair. And that's you and your mom.
That was
right there.
Second time.
Yeah. No, that was after last year, because last year we did the.
Yeah. That was the first time I lost my hair.
Yeah. And we did the
marathon.
The marathon. Oh, there you go. Which was pretty cool. And then look at there, you lost your hair. That was me with the big boy. Ooh, that made me look. It looked like Uncle Phil right there for sure. And but look at this one. Look at this one. We're in the gym. We're working out. Look, I see the biceps popping.
Yeah, you see him. Look at him.
You see him. There you go.
Trying to get back to
And
how they
look
used
at
to
that. Look at that. That was our thug picture right there. Well, Michael's thug.
Michael's.
But anyway.
And Dave.
But how do you feel? How do you feel being in the gym? How do you feel now? Because you're vegan. You know, you're staying away from certain things that. Because remember, in the hospital, you used to make your own dadgum waffles.
Man, I still miss those waffles every day.
Dad, can you bring some syrup? Dad, can you do this? Yep. You used to cook. Now, you have somebody that's holding you down, holding you accountable. You want to give a shout out? Who? Go ahead.
Shout out to the lovely Wendy Wilson. Sitting right there.
The shout out to Wendy. Okay, so what has Wendy done for you?
She's been my backbone when I've been weak. She's been there to support me when I felt like I just couldn't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. She's been there to support me. She's done all the research. She's just invested almost all of her time and energy, but very little time and energy she has now. She's invested into me, and that's something that like I'm forever grateful for because she's helped me stick to this. And going plant-based was hard. I didn't believe it at first. It was so hard, but she kept me accountable and kept me going on. And so here I am sticking to it now, and I just couldn't do it without her, to be honest.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I have to give a shout out to Wendy also because Wendy has just I agree with what you said. Incredible.
I need to.
Yep. I also want to give a shout out to your mom.
And good old Tracy Wakefield.
She's a fighter. She's a battler. You know, one of the things she didn't leave your side. Not at all. And you know, we've taken a hit. You know, the family has taken a hit. It is a brutal hit. And everybody's struggling. Everybody's battling. You know, you have made me a stronger person. You know, watching the way that that we tried to battle, you know, to overcome this and fight this was the toughest thing. But when I talked about you fighting, you know, when it was in football and you fight it in life and you continue to keep fighting with this is
different.
You beat my goal of being a better man than me because you keep fighting, man. And I'm so proud. I am. I'm so proud, and this is not over by any means. You know, Landry took it hard, Brevin took it hard, Tracy took it hard, our whole family took it hard, and we still got you. We still got you. We still got you back, and we're still there for you. And so I'll never want you to forget that. But when I said I wanted you to be a better man than me, you did it, man. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of the support that you have with Wendy. I'm the support that you have with the people in this room, because you can't. I don't know how I'd make it.
Because of you guys?
Without the support here, without you, without Wendy, because sometimes the purpose of a father is to take care of his family, and sometimes you feel that you failed, especially with the circumstances that's happened in our family. And with the kids, with Brevin and Landry, with everybody understanding that you were their support, you're their rock, you're their older brother, and to see them overcome their frustrations and so forth, and to see where you're at now, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I look at for the people here in the room, I give a shout out to Michael Price, because Michael Price is your boy. He's
Like the shoes, man.
Y'all have the same shoes. I can't say nothing. I got to give a shout out to my boy H, Kelly, and Mona.
Big Hunter Smith.
And
Kelly and Mona.
And then a shout out to a huge shout out to Wendy. Shout out to the West Plano workout group who's there, who you always show up. You
Shout
always
out Kate, Taylor, Dave.
Yeah, we see you smile,
Debbie, of course.
We see you smiling. We see you laughing, and that's my highlight. You know, that's my highlight of seeing you when you work out with them and seeing you progress so much. I'm proud of you, boy. I am. I'm telling you. If I didn't do anything right in life, that's the one thing I think I did. So thank you very much.
You've done a lot.
So, but before we get out of here, why don't you tell everybody, your update, tell them how you feeling, tell them what's going on, tell them, how do they continue to keep their prayers going for you?
Just don't feel bad for me. I don't need pity, I don't feel bad for myself. I don't pity myself. So if anything, I just like to see a smile on everybody's face anytime they see me. And just keep the prayers coming. I feel it all the time. And just know I haven't given up. I'm not going to give up. So you can expect me to keep doing me and keep going on. So
which is awesome.
I'm still fighting. Always
That's
gonna
it.
fight.
That's it. It is. When I was sitting around thinking, the whole thing about the Junior Wakefield Show is to have inspiring people on. And if anybody's watched or paid attention, you see that I've had some incredible inspiring people. This is probably the toughest one, is because, well, for one, it's Zachary, but what he's going through and what he's gone through and where he's at now. But also for me, it's, I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes as they were growing up. And it was all in the best interest of Zachary, of the kids, and for the family. And, when you were diagnosed with cancer, it's a nuclear bomb that none of us knew how to understand. We didn't know how to deal with it. And, so I made a lot of decisions, got a lot of frustration that may not have worked, and I accept that. I accept those faults, accept those responsibilities. But you and I have drawn closer now. You and I spend more time talking. And even though, we had our battles and up and down, it's more of a, it feels good. We talk during workout. We talk about Wendy. We talk about the group. We talk about the people that we love. We talk about, what's for the future. And, as God's my witness, I will never give up until this is beaten. And I learned that from my dad, and a shout out to my dad. He's still overcoming being sick. So shout out to you, because I learned the things from him, and the people right here are the ones keep me accountable, and there's people that I call when I'm lost or I can't figure out some things. And, sometimes they don't have to say anything, but they're there. They listen and they hear me. And I appreciate it more than they'll ever know. And those are the things right there that makes me continue to keep going. Because I'm telling you, boy, you are my inspiration. You are my motivation. You keep me going. Same thing with Zachary and same thing with Landry. Love you guys, and I love you. And I know this battle is tough. Cancer is. I know I can't use profanity on here, but cancer sucks. Cancer's been beating us up, and I'm not giving up until it's over, and to watch Wendy, to stand by your side during the boy, I love that girl, and I love her because what she does for you, and I don't know why I'm crying on this one, but I see you happy, and that's one of the things that makes me happy. So like I said, if I haven't done anything right, this is it. To see you guys smile is the thing that makes me happy. So I'm proud of you. I appreciate it. And I love you.
Love you too.
All right. So now give a shout out. Go ahead and give a shout out so I can wipe the tears off my face.
Got a shout out. Start off with Wendy Wilson, of course, my backbone. And shout out to the boys, Byron, KD, Zay, Obale, Aaron. I hope I'm not Terrence. Shout out to the pack, man. Love y'all boys. Y'all my brothers. Shout out to my family. Shout out to Brevin Landry, my mother, of course. Shout out to Michael Price, Big Money, Big Hunter Smith, Big H, Kelly, and of course the one and only Mona. Thank you guys. And of course the workout group. Can't forget Kate, Taylor, Dave, and Debbie. You guys are awesome. Love working out with you guys. It brightens my day seeing you guys every day. So thank you guys.
Now, before we, he did give a shout out to Mona, so I have to say, so Mona drove all the way from Greenville, Texas to work out with you, and Mona gave us a gift. So we're gonna pull this gift out that Mona gave us, and I was sitting there looking, and it was a workout, and it is, oh, this is a great picture.
You got some competition, Wendy.
So I'm looking at this picture, and Mona gave me a picture of Zachary. I don't know if you can see it. I'm putting it on this camera. She gave me a picture of Zachary as he's holding her feet. And so this small one is mine. So she said it was her good side. And then she gave Zachary another picture, so which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to leave this right here while we finish it out. I'm giving a shout out to Mona Beats. Mona, you are special.
Hilarious.
When there's times that I don't know where I'm going or where I come from, you say the darndest things that just, you can't stop laughing, and it does brighten up my day, because there's many times that I feel I'm in a bad place, and you are an inspiration, and I can't say thank you enough because of the things that you do. This right here, you'll never know how much this means. You'll never know how much your presence means, not just to me, not just to Zach,
right next to the
but
bed.
to everybody that's in the workout group and everybody that knows you. So, Mona, thank you more than you'll ever know. I appreciate it. So, thank you. Zach,
you're my second favorite. Actually, you and Wendy are tied right now, but
there you go.
I love you, Mona. Thank you.
There you go. I also I have to give a shout out. I give a shout out to Tracy Wakefield. I give a shout out to Brevin Wakefield. I give a shout out to Landry Wakefield. I give a shout out to my dad, Henry Wakefield. And I give a shout out to my sister, Maciola. And I give a shout out to all my cousins and the Wakefield
Shout out Micah,
clans.
Shemaya, and Shamika.
Because when I went through a very tough time when Zachary was diagnosed. It was a tough one. When I tell you I felt like I failed as a father, as a dad, I felt in a way I should have prevented it. I couldn't have, but there's just things that I felt inside that were really tough. And as a man, I'm supposed to protect the things that I love, and I felt that I failed in that. Now, we go back and no, you can do this and so forth, but that's the battle that I went through, and there were inspirations and there were times, and Michael Price came out and said some of the craziest things that kind of get my mind off of it. Hunter Smith called and just kept me going, which is a trip. And my sister and my dad and everybody would pick up that phone or send that text, and those were the things that were amazing. So I give a shout out. But there are some people that I want to say and I want to mention. I'm just giving a shout out to all the workout groups. Mona, thank you. Michael, thank you. Hunter, thank you. Wendy, love you to death. Kelly, thank you. Zachary, thank you.
Thank you.
Because you made me a better man. Wakefield family, thank you. All the people out there that have prayed, all the people out there that have sent their well wishes, thank you. This is my show, and I don't give out. I have to give a shout out to Real News PR, because without them, this platform wouldn't have been available. Jeff Curley, love you to death. Carol Lee Gurney, love you to death. Kim Yancey, thank you. Rick Turner, Anthony Mitchmore, Wade Johnson, James Johnson. Continue to keep going on. You guys know who you are. I appreciate it. I thank you. John Morris, Big Red, known each other for 30 years. Thank you. My dad, man, my dad. Those words of wisdom, sometimes they're just simple. Thank you. Macy, those sarcastic words of wisdom. Thank you.
And I want to give a shout out to John Morris and Todd Brewer as well for the job opportunity they provided me and just being so lenient and understanding with my situation and never holding it against me, using it against me. They've been a wonderful employer, and I'm happy to work for them. So thank you guys.
Yep. Todd Bowman, man. Woo, boy. Thank you. So I think we got a shout out to everybody. Hopefully we did. If we missed you, apologize. The Clarks, Gullis, just so many people out there that have just helped out in so many different ways. I do have to, just going back to a quick shout out again, is Danny and Caroline King, because they made a donation to you back last year. So shout out to them. Mm-hmm. You know, Pabst Brothers Steakhouse, you're still better than Nick and Sam's. But anyway, give a shout out there too. We love you guys. We thank you guys. Give a shout out to Andrews, our producers. Give a shout out Real News Para, Josh, all those guys. Big Mike Johnson, you know, I give a shout out to you because sometimes you listened when I was talking nonsense and I didn't know where I was coming. And again, to the people in this room, thank you very much. If I didn't communicate it well to some people who didn't show, you know, I apologize. Because we're going to come back and do it again. And we're going to let people know exactly your update, and we're going to get into it further. So, you know, you guys have seen my daughter Landry. She does What's on Your Plate. So, you know, please check us out. Please check us out on the Junior Wakefield Show. Thank you guys for everybody that was watching. Thank you. When I tell you that I love you, I don't play around. I mean it. From the bottom of my heart. There's people who have tattoo spots on my heart that they will never know. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right? Love you guys. This is the update with Zach so far. The cancer's not over. The cancer don't want to leave. But Zachary's fighting. And I'll stand right by his side. Well, I'll stand behind Wendy. And battle it with him. And
That's
I got
the best
Michael.
I felt in a long time.
Good.
So.
And I got Michael Price and Hunter standing right behind me. And I got Mona, Kelly, and everybody else right there. And then on the other side, you know, you got your mom and you got everybody else right there. So glad you're feeling good. Glad you're feeling great. You look great. You got hair. They were talking about your afro and hair coming back, so which was awesome. You know, you got your beard. You gained some weight since you've been working out with me, so that tells you, you know, something. Not just losing weight, but gaining weight. So
that big muscles, man.
There you go. Like you. Big muscles. See, that's what we're working for. Big muscles. Big Money Mike and big muscles. Thank you guys for watching the Junior Wakefield Show. Thank you, Andrew, our producers, and thank you, everybody. You know, we appreciate it. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Please check it out if you want to find out any updates about Zach. We'll post stuff on social media and so forth. And then, just contact Zachary. So, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. This is the episode of Junior Wakefield Show. I'm Junior Wakefield, and
I'm Zach Wakefield.
There you go. Zachary what?
Tanyan Lee Wakefield.
There you go. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. You guys have a great day.